So when you think about politics, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? The problem with American politics is that we believe in this concept of negative partisanship. This means that we would rather support one party over another just to see the opposing party fail, rather than our party succeed. This type of belief is one that has corrupted our politicians and brought out the worst in all of us. I'm not saying political parties in the concept form are bad. The simple idea of having different parties that can help represent the different beliefs of the citizens throughout the country of which they reside in is an idea that is a fundamental one to this nation. However, in reality, due to the large population and diversity of the American people, political parties have simply become hazardous when they don't cover the beliefs of all the citizens. A multi-party system that includes the opinions of more than just two major parties would be more beneficial to a country like ours. Although I'm only 19 years old, I still have a great deal of knowledge in this area, as I was Vice President of the 2017 American Legion Boys Nation program, where I got to see firsthand the inner workings of the United States government in Washington, D.C. I've had discussions with Senators Lamar Alexander and Bob Corker of Tennessee, Orrin Hatch of Utah, John Cornyn and Ted Cruz of Texas, and President Donald Trump himself. I've also had discussions over this matter with State Senator Shane Reeves. Now today I'm going to explain to you the dangerous path our country is headed down with our current two-party system. First, let's discuss the origin of the political party system. Parties have existed from the beginning of American history. In the history of the United States, only one president was not affiliated with a political party, George Washington. Washington, in his 1796 farewell address, warned the American people of the dangers of creating a political party. In his 1796 farewell address, he said, "However, political parties may now and then answer popular ends, they are likely in the course of time and things to become potent engines, which cunning and ambitious and unprincipled men will be enabled to subvert the power of the people and usurp them for themselves the reins of government, destroying afterwards the very engines which they have lifted them to unjust dominion." Alexander Hamilton referred to political parties as a necessary evil. But are political parties a necessary evil? Numerous politicians, beginning with Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton, believed that political parties were necessary to better express the views of different citizens within this nation. USHistory.org says, "Most other democratic nations have a multi-party system. Even though third parties may have popped up regularly throughout the American history, they have either died out or their ideas have been absorbed by one of the two major parties." So why do we have a two major party system? Ballotpedia says that there are over 50 different political parties within the United States, yet only two parties are ever represented in the U.S. government. The Washington Post says that there are three main reasons as to why we have a two-party system. The first being that there is a general consensus of values among Americans, including the fact that we all both believe in the idea of a president who wins an election and is subject to that election no matter what. We both believe in the simple fact of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Two, the fact that from the beginning of American politics, two parties have always reigned. Like I stated earlier, aside from George Washington, we've always had a two-party system, so it's just something that's been embedded into our nation's history. And third, the winner-takes-all system only allows the majority to have a voice in government, regardless of the percentage of the votes that you take. As long as you get the majority of those votes, then you are in the office. The loser ultimately gets nothing. So what is the alternative? Debate.org says that countries like Australia have a different system of governing, where seats in Congress are not determined by a winner-takes-all election. Rather, the seats are divided up among the top candidates from every party with respect to the votes that they receive. The 2016 American Values Survey supported this. 61% of survey respondents said neither political party reflects their opinions today, while 38% disagreed. There is virtually no variation amongst class or race. The problem with changing the status quo is simple, however. We can't change anything just right away. Most Americans agree that the two-party winner-takes-all system is a broken one, but there's no easy solution to fixing it. The first step to solving the problem would be repealing the Electoral College. However, politicians and political party investors, operators, and contributors are afraid of doing so. This would lead to less power for their parties and less authority to alter what they would like to in government. Which brings my argument full circle, where at the beginning, I said that the two-party system corrupts our politicians. The two-party system creates money-hungry, power-grabbing politicians who have no other interest in government other than that, just to win elections. Until we can convince Washington that this isn't just a change that we want, but a change that we need, nothing will ever change. We can fight back, however, and many Americans already have taken the initiative in this, and that's simply voting. Focus on voting for who you want to be in office, not for someone who you think can keep a candidate that you would rather not have in office out of it. In conclusion, hopefully I have showed you today the examples that our two-party system has set forth and how it has hurt our sense of nationalism. Tensions between political parties have been raging for centuries now, and in more recent years those tensions have evolved into negative partisanship. Each party is constantly at each other's throat, but moreover radical ideas than the rational ones that affect the majority of Americans. From the beginning, numerous political figures have argued the existence of political parties, even our first president. By taking matters into our own hands and fighting for a more multi-party system, we can create a government that better represents the ideals of each citizen within our ever-expanding nation. In the words of John F. Kennedy, ask not what you can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. I think that those words ring true more now than ever. And if we ever want to see a change in our government, we have to take it upon ourselves to initiate that change.